Mm. Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first Tiger Bait live show of 2020. The last time I saw all of you, uh, we were in the Superdome for the national championship watching the best ever. Y'all, the confetti is still falling here. As actual confetti, it is still all in my book sack. Very exciting. I'm not gonna lose this. Sorry, y'all. This is a little too important. Gotta get that going here. We have some exciting recruiting news. There's been rumors of Corey Foreman possibly visiting LSU. We're gonna talk about that in this show. I'm gonna give my season prediction. Last year, I did not go with my heart. I instead went with my brain, which I regretted because I really wanted to say 12-0 make the playoffs last year. I didn't because I am a coward. Today, we're going to see how I feel about that. I want to thank tonight's sponsors. Andy Smith, I see you in the comments. Thank you for joining us. If y'all are here, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I am sharing right now, so if you see me kind of going up and down, it's just because I'm a one-man wrecking crew right now, y'all. I am producer, I am talent, I am everything else. Well, not so talented, but, anyways. So, uh, I want to thank Dexter Alexander, goes by Dexter Vaughn Realtor, former Tiger for LSU. So really cool, really glad to have him as a sponsor. Y'all go click and like his page. I have him tagged. I have another super cool sponsor tonight. I have Jordan Spector of Spector Sports Art. Y'all may remember the famous Joe Burrow painting. How cool is that? It's in my man cave. It should be in your man cave. I put a link if you want to get one for yourself. It's in the description of this video. So I am tweeting the link. Y'all do me some favors, share this to your favorite groups, and we're gonna have a good time. First, how should I caption this? First live show of this season, live now. Join me. Season prediction inbound. Alrighty. If I have a typo there, listen to what I mean, not what I say, people. Alrighty. So, first and foremost, Corey Foreman, number one recruit in the country. I have spoken with him. Mike Scarborough's been on this since early this morning. We have news that he will be in Baton Rouge this week. Of course, Corey Foreman is very good friends with Mason Smith, the defensive tackle down in Terrebonne Parish. He is. We're talking about the number one defensive end, number one defensive tackle in the country. So, of course, this is massive news. I mean, he's going to be here visiting campus. He was here 2 weeks ago. Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback, scheduled a visit, and we're confirming he will be back. Guys, we have Mike Scarborough lurking in the comments. He has put an alarm there. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm going to get to every question tonight. I promise y'all. I will get to any question you have, and we will talk about it. So get me anything. Let's get engaged. We will put this show later on our YouTube page, which is now completely set up. We're going to have tons of videos. Me and Mike been talking about it. We have over 1,200 videos we've gotten over the years at tigerbait.com. We're going to be putting them down there as a throwback. So y'all make sure to give our new YouTube page a follow. So some just awesome content. Also, if you want more details on Corey Foreman, who will be in, I cannot stress enough, the number one player in the country will be in Baton Rouge this weekend. Our sources are confirming. So, y'all, if you want all the scoop on that, Mike's been on it since early this morning getting details. Y'all hop on over to tigerbait.com. We're running a special for our annuals. You can pay $99 instead of the $11 a month. It passes the wife test because you only see it on your invoice once. So, your wife can only get so upset with you so many times. It's $99. You get all the inside scoops. We are in good with Mason Smith, Corey Foreman. I've talked to Tristan Lee. We've put out tons of good content. It's already there. As soon as you start and get for $1, you give it a try. But do yourself a favor. Go for the annual package. Darren Strobe, if I'm saying it wrong, correct me. Darren Strobe, if we get Corey, Mason Smith is an automatic lock. Darren, I'm just going to tell you, I've spoken with both kids. I get the feeling it's the other way around. If we get Mason Smith, you get Corey Foreman. Because I get the feeling Corey, he's not from the South, but he wants to play in the South. He wants big boy SEC ball. I personally am of the opinion that Mason would bring Corey to wherever he goes. Now, deal is with Mason. I mean, obviously Ogeron played defensive tackle. They're from the same area, so that's just huge advantage for Ogeron. Mason Smith has told me if he does not get to take visits to any other campus, LSU's at a huge advantage right now, which means if Mason's coming, and Mason has guaranteed me that wherever he goes, Corey's going. They are a package deal. The one entity that scares me is Georgia. They do things in a certain way that's pretty hard to recruit against at Georgia. So, they're always going to be lurking, but personally, I've talked to Mason. I think another thing that puts LSU over the top, they love Bo Pelini. Mike just commented in the comments some more recruiting news, so y'all make sure to snoop those comments for some good stuff there. Hughes Jason says, hello from Walker. Hi, thank you for joining us tonight. So, before we dive too deep into my season prediction, everybody's going to kill me. I know it. I want to take a minute to thank Jordan Spector of Spector Sports Art. As you can see, he has sponsored our show tonight, but he's painted one of the coolest paintings I have ever seen. It really captures just the greatest moment in humankind history, as I've declared many times. Joe Burrow smoking the cigar, Heisman Trophy. On the letter in the background, you can't see it, but it says, you can't do it, you won't make it. Y'all, every purchase of this painting, portion of proceeds go to Dreams Come True Louisiana and the Joe Burrow Fund. It goes to Joe Burrow's foundation. How cool is that? Y'all go support Joe. Y'all go support Jordan. Get you one of these paintings. Season prediction. Okay, guys, I am fired up about this year. This has been the longest off season ever. Oh my goodness, y'all. Football, real football. NFL's not real football. It's not real football until the Tigers take off. This was the toughest season prediction I have ever made. I went back and forth, and actually I wrote something, then Jamar Chase dropped out of the team, and I threw it away. It was garbage. This season is interesting because the truth is about this season, as smart as I would love to sit up here and tell you, oh yes, I know everything, and this is what's going to be, and all that good stuff, that's just not the fact. The fact of the matter is, this is the least we've known about an LSU team, in decades. And the reason for that is yes, we lose 18 out of 22 starters from the greatest team of all time. Yes, you lose Joe Brady. Yes, you lose Dave Aranda. Okay? But on top of that, we've had unprecedentedly limited access to this team. Okay? No one but the coaches really know what this team is doing right now. The reports are this, the reports are that. Reports are Miles Brennan is an outstanding leader. The reports are Arik Gilbert might be the best tight end in history. 2 of LSU's linebackers have come out and said that this kid could be the best tight end of all time. But I haven't seen it. I don't know. So that's why I've bounced back more than I ever have for a season prediction. And it has just been, it's been tough. I've bounced back and forth between, we're losing a lot. Who knows? I mean, can offensive line block for Brennan? Do we really know Brennan has shaken off those jitters? I've been from 7-3 to 9-1, and even when I was thinking about the receiving core with Jamar Chase, I was like, Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall, and Arik Gilbert, and then Kashawn Butte coming on, and Racy McMath. I mean, that is going to be a tough receiving core to stop, and all Miles Brennan has to do is get it to him. So, spoiler alert, I went 8-2. Okay, and that feels right on the money to me. I think that Bama, because of LSU, so much turnover, I think Ogeron's closed the recruiting gap between Bama. I just think that this is one kind of downish year for Ogeron in what's going to be a very fruitful future where he's competing for multiple championships. But it's just so impossible to lose all that and then be right back at it for a championship. I mean, y'all, if he goes 10-0 after losing all he lost, just enshrine him in the Hall of Fame right now. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. So 8-2 is what I feel. I think they split. They go 2-3 against Texas A&M, Florida, and Auburn. Okay. And I honestly think LSU is probably the better team than all three of those. But I know that realistically each team has, a chance to upset LSU, a 1 out of 3 chance. And I think that happens. Let's see what we've got here. Hey, by the way, is 8-2 right? I want your comment. Did I get it right? Is 8-2 what this Tiger team will do? Let's see. Chris Dominique says, fired up, y'all, dude. There's nothing that gets me more fired up than football season. They want to rank us number 6 for the defending national champions. And in all fairness, Chris, I get your point about that. I just disagree. I think that you rank based on what you think early in the preseason. You're just taking a guess at who you think the best team will be this year. They can't evaluate you based on what they saw last year, although they can't evaluate us. They can't evaluate any team based on what they've seen other than the teams who have played. So just take a wild guess. I mean, that's all you can do. Trust me, these Tigers have a lot to prove. They do. They do. A lot of guys like Miles Brennan with a chip on his shoulder. Let's see. Mike Stein, 42-20 LSU. That is for the prediction this weekend. We'll see. I'm going to touch on the matchup between Mississippi State. It is actually very interesting. Let's see here. We started at 6 last year. I'm not sure what he's talking about. He's replying. Oh, yeah, we started. Yeah. So good point here by Josh Tusay. The team started ranked number 6 last year. Before we keep on going, I do want to take a minute to thank my guy, Dexter Alexander, for sponsoring us. He's of Dexter Vaughn Realtor with United Real Estate. Okay? Y'all, Dexter's not going to push you to buy a house you don't want. He's a real, even, cool guy. He knows real estate. More importantly, he knows people. He's going to treat you like a person, get you in a good home, or list your home and take care of you. More importantly, Dexter played for LSU. He was on that 2011 championship team. It is so cool. Go buy from a Tiger, y'all. Go buy from Dexter. Give him a call. 225-288-1071. Anyways, back to the season, okay? Chris is saying we've got to be aggressive. I agree. The 4-3 defense has got to be aggressive. I can tell you my reports are that Ed Ogeron's been wanting to move to a 4-3 for a very, very long time, but he inherited Dave Aranda, and what are you going to do about that? I mean, you can't just get rid of Dave Aranda, what he's been doing. So he's happy to move to a 4-3. Fortunately, it makes it easier to transition to a 4-3 when you lose your entire front 7 anyways. Well, you got to replace the personnel anyway, so you might as well do it. Ogeron struck gold in the offseason again, signing Jabril Cox out of North Dakota State, 3-time national champion. A lot of experts thought he would be a first-round draft pick this year. He had something to prove, wanted to go to the SEC, so here he comes. Awesome pickup, along with Liam Shanahan, the center. He will be starting at offensive center, which was a godsend for LSU because for the reports were there was nobody else ready to play center. Center's a unique position. They put me at center a few times in high school. It is weird. You got to snap your hand backwards, step forward, read defenses. Anytime you pick up a good center, that is a great pickup. Let's see here. Darren Strobe, I read Corey liked his trip so much he wanted to commit on the spot. I did talk to his friend Mason about that. Mason rebuted that when I talked to him. He said, oh, nah, I mean, it was cool. We liked it and all. But, both of these kids are very smart. Mason has a 3.9 GPA. And he scored, I think he told me he scored like a 27 on the ACT. He is a smart kid, kind of kid who he might play and win you a national championship as a player and then come back as a coach. And he wants to do physical therapy, which is, he wants to get a doctorate in physical therapy. So the kid is sharp, very sharp. Mason told me that he said no because we both know we want to take our official visits and wait for that, but then he did follow that up with, but if we don't get to take these visits, LSU's at an advantage because he's been there the most. Corey likes it, and Corey liked it enough to be able to come to campus from what I'm understanding. So, yeah, great. I mean, that visit 2 weeks ago was awesome. Can Miles B read defenses? Well, Jason, I'd love to give you a better answer on this, but the fact of the matter is I don't know. You don't know. No one in the media really knows. We haven't seen him do it. Even if we had seen practices, we'll see. As a freshman, he had pocket jitters, and that caused a few issues. He had the opposite of what a lot of quarterbacks like to stare down a receiver and wait too long. That wasn't the issue for him. It was freak out, panic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he moves past his reads too fast. I think he can read defenses. It's about, does he have that internal clock? Can he slow down, calm down? I think watching Burrow for 2 years would be very good for him because Burrow tended to do the things that he struggled with very well. So I think that he should be ready. He's been in the offense longer than the offense has been here. So I think this will be the smoothest transition LSU has had from one quarterback to the next. He should be able to read defense. I believe at this point in his career, I think he was ready last year after I saw the spring game. I thought if Burrow ever went down, Brennan could have come in, and that would still be a team competing for a championship. They wouldn't have been the greatest ever. They wouldn't have just beaten the smoke out of everybody. And don't let the score fool you. They beat the tar out of everybody, Bama included. I think that he would have just been very serviceable and probably still won a championship last year. As to whether he will be there or not, I think I'm predicting he'll have about 20 touchdowns, which is impressive given that it's a 10-game season and it's all SEC. There's no non-conference stat fluffers, okay? And he'll probably throw for somewhere around 2,500 yards, and I'm thinking about 5 interceptions. I think he'll have some lumps, some growing pains, but I think it's going to be a good offense. Let's see. Chris wants to know how big of a loss will Joe Brady be. There's no way to pad that. I think Joe Brady was an offensive mind, just absolutely brilliant. He worked perfectly with Steve Ensminger. Steve Ensminger, it seems his weakness has always been installing an offense. He's always been good about calling plays out of someone else's playbook. He brought the playbook. Let's hope to God he left that playbook because, Ensminger knows how to call plays out of it. I mean, there are situations. Jacob Hester told a story about how against Texas, Joe Brady said, "Oh, we need to do this route to fix this coverage they're doing," and Steve Ensminger would be right on top of him saying, "Well, yeah, we need that, but that linebacker still needs to be picked up. Let's put Clyde in pass protection and still call that route." And it just was a perfect marriage. Now, they brought in Scott Linehan, which a lot of Cowboys fans who had him as their offensive coordinator were kind of laughing at that because they're like, "Oh, this guy stinks." Well, I would argue the standard is so different. It is so different what we're talking about. We're not talking about an NFL coordinator. We're talking about an assistant position, the passing game coordinator. All he needs to do is have creative plays. He doesn't need to be a good play caller. Ensminger's the play caller. Ensminger is an unpredictable play caller. Ensminger has always called good plays. Literally, since he was the interim, he's been a good play caller. He did a good job calling plays out of Cam Cameron's offense. So I think that Linehan is a savvy NFL veteran who hopefully he'll be able to take the Joe Brady offense, add some good wrinkles to it, and be able to coach guys up. I mean, I'm not saying that he'll be better than Joe Brady, but hopefully the system is still something good we've seen. It's not like LSU was the first team to run a spread air raid offense last year. Let's see here. Darren, yeah, he's all over the recruiting news. He must be a Tiger Bait subscriber, which, by the way, if you aren't, hop on tigerbait.com. It costs $1 to get started, and it costs $99 for a full year of good recruiting news. I know if you're watching this video, you probably spend a lot of time thinking and watching LSU football. Why not just get the inside scoop for $99 a year? It's one charge, get done. Boom. Give it a try for $1 if you don't believe me. But yeah, he says Deion Sanders, who just got hired at Jackson State in Mississippi, offered Mason Smith on his first day of the job. Mason was very gracious and tweeted that out. Yeah, I think some good players are going to be lured to Jackson State just because it's prime time, but come on, y'all. I mean, this process for Mason's been going on a while. Like, he ain't going to Jackson State. So we will see about that. I still feel like Mason and Corey Foreman are LSU's to lose. And I think that the only one who really scares me is Georgia. Let's see here. How has Miles Brennan looked this offseason? He appeared to take leadership of the team the same way Joe did. From what LSU's reporting, very good on both accounts. Let's see here. What players that we maybe haven't heard of will be the biggest immediate impact this season? Well, it depends on who you haven't heard of. I would argue the biggest newcomer is Arik Gilbert. I mean, he is 6'5", 250. Coverage, just a matchup nightmare from what I'm hearing. I would argue Arik Gilbert. But maybe you've heard of him because a lot of people have heard of him. Well, let's move on down the list. Okay, Kashawn Butte is a guy who has come out. He's the third receiver from what I'm understanding. So he's going to be starting as a true freshman alongside Racy McMath and Terrace Marshall. So I see Kashawn Butte being a guy because we all kind of heard of Racy McMath. We kind of expected him to step up. Maybe Kashawn Butte would catch you off guard. I mean, those are the guys I would go with. So, anyways, 8-2 is my season prediction. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Only time will tell. Last year, I went and said 10-2, but I said that I have a feeling this team could be special. That feeling was right. My brain is dumb. My heart is right. I feel like my heart and brain are kind of both on the same page here. I feel comfortable at 8-2. I think that's a very safe bet. All right, before we move on, I want to take time to thank Jordan Spector of Spector Sports Art. I have a cool little video I'm going to show y'all, just kind of give you a good feel of the video. Y'all take a look. Very cool stuff. Thank you to Jordan Spector for providing that. I took Jordan out to walk-ons when he came in town here the other day. Great guy, real good with his artwork. He was a walk-on at Temple. Good work, and it's going to a great cause. Of course, this benefits Joe Burrow's foundation, right? The Joe Burrow Fund. And it benefits the Louisiana Dreams Come True Fund. So it's benefiting Ohio and Louisiana in honor of Joe Burrow. Great stuff. Very happy that he did this. Y'all go check this out. The link is in the bio. I also want to thank Dexter Alexander, former Tiger. There's his picture I popped up on top of me. But here's his ad. Let's take that down, shall we? Dexter Vaughn. Guys, Dexter cares about his clients, okay? He wants to put you in a home that makes you happy. He does not care about closing the sale fast. He's on your calendar. He's a real caring guy. He's a former teammate of mine, He's a former head football coach. He has the attention to detail. He's going to be watching out for things that you might have not even been watching out for. That's just the kind of leadership that being a former LSU player brings to the table. Buy from a Tiger, buy from Dexter. Y'all go give him a call, 225-288-1071. So, anyways, 8-2 is my season prediction. Okay, I think Brennan has a very solid year, about 2,500 yards in a shortened season, tougher season. Chris wants to know if Stingley has a legitimate chance at the Heisman this year. Absolutely, he does. I think he's got the best chance of a defensive player in a long time. He had the spotlight last year. He made big plays in big spots, and he's going to be returning punts. I thought that was peculiar. I really did think that Orgeron was going to go a different direction, and he was going to go with Trey Palmer returning kicks, since Trey Palmer showed to be more explosive returning kicks last year. My thought goes to, I'm sure that Stingley was coached intentionally. Hey, bud, why don't you take it easy here? We got Joe over there, and he can go 80 yards every time. So just catch it, maybe run 5-6 yards, go out of bounds, don't hurt yourself, do your thing, don't turn my ball over. I'm not sure that'll be the case this year. I would not be shocked if they had him more aggressively returning punts. And if he gets 1 or 2 of those, or 3 would be insane, and he's doing what he does on defense, he's got a very, very chance to make it to New York. Now, winning's going to be tough. I think Trevor Lawrence, because of how long and how familiar people are with him, and how, Jesus, that team looks good. I think it's going to be his to lose, and I think it's going to be real tough. But maybe Stingley gets to New York. We'll see. The answer is yes. I think he has a chance. Oh, Esteban, go Tigers. What's up, PG? What's going on, Esteban? Thanks for joining us, bud. Hey, if y'all watching this, do me a favor, share to your favorite Facebook group, share whatever. I love tons of people in here, as many comments as we can get to. All right, LSU, Mississippi State. Let's break that down. As we know, the state of Mississippi is about to explode. I don't think it can legally carry as head coaches Lane Kiffin, Mike Leach, and primetime. Y'all, how crazy is that? That state is literally just about to implode. But in the meantime, LSU has to play Mississippi State, assuming that it does not implode before then. They're expected to be led by transfer quarterback KJ Costello from Stanford. He is my sleeper pick for the year. In fact, a lot of people asked me, yesterday I got asked by the guys at One Team, One Podcast, who do I think ends up as first team All-SEC? They probably wanted me to say Miles Brennan. Kyle Trask is kind of the obvious pick. JT Newman's no longer in the picture, and we don't know what's going on with JT Daniels at Georgia. Mac Jones, he might be good eventually, but I'm not even sure that he beats out Bryce Allen, the hot number 1 quarterback in the country behind him. I'm not even sure it's his job by the end of the year. So I went with KJ Costello. I think it's a very mundane year for SEC quarterbacks. And it's always someone who kind of comes out of nowhere and surprises the world. It's never, like when Johnny Manziel broke onto the scene in 2012, it's not like we were talking Johnny Manziel preseason All-SEC. It's not like, he's a freshman. He won the Heisman. So recently it's been guys like that. I think he's got a situation with Mike Leach where Mike Leach will let you throw it 65 times a game. And in a mundane year, a guy with, 5,000 passing yards, that's good enough for first team All-SEC, especially if he has anything that resembles a winning record. So I've got KJ Costello. I'm very high on him. We are talking about a kid. Let me see. He has 49 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, and 6,000 yards on his career. Okay? We're talking about a good player, very, very veteran, and now he's in a Mike Leach system. And keep in mind, Gardner Minshew was a transfer to Washington State, and we saw what he did, and now he's an NFL quarterback. Mike Leach can work with transfers. He likes transfers. So I think that's a guy just Y'all keep an eye out. He's got NFL size. He's got NFL arm. I could see some really good things out of KJ Costello. That being said, Mississippi State, I'm just not convinced that that program's there yet to truly compete with LSU, even with LSU having a down year. I don't see him having the Jimmies and Joes. I don't see him having the Trenchmen. I think LSU is going to adjust their offense to take care of Brennan's strengths. Brennan does some things better than Joe Burrow, such as underneath throws. He's got a baseball pitch for an arm. Okay, I think that the dink and dunk stuff that Brennan can do might be better than what Joe Burrow can do, and that takes care of two problems with the short, curl route, the little, the slants, the real fast, the screens. Um, a it kind of slows, it hogs more time on the clock because you're moving in short little doses, which helps your defense. B, for an offensive line that's replacing four starters, albeit they're replacing them with experienced players. I think this is not a normal year with four new starters. You got some veteran guys you're plugging in there. I think it's still going to be a bit of a drop off from last year. I don't think. Remember Georgia in the SEC championship when Joe Burrow had 9 seconds to throw? None of that. I mean, it's guaranteed to drop off a little. So I think that helps out, and it just overall breaks in. It helps use weapons like Arik Gilbert as a tight end. You just hit him underneath. Brennan's not going to have the over the top accuracy that Joe Burrow had. Joe Burrow threw over the top of the defenders, and it was perfect accuracy every single time. I mean, it was just absolutely stunning to watch, y'all. Maybe one day I'm going to stop talking about how incredulous what we just saw last year was. But it's not today because that was just a wild season. We're never going to see anything like that again. So I hope y'all enjoyed the living hell out of it, like Coco said on 60 Minutes. Because we're never going to see anything like that again. Probably in college football, but definitely not from LSU. It was just the perfect storm. And a great backstory, too. Island of Misfit Toys. Ogeron, the coach, nobody wanted. Burrow, the quarterback, nobody wanted. Jordan Jefferson. I'm sorry. I had a little Vern moment there. Justin Jefferson was a 2-star recruit. Just incredibly special. That being said, with Mississippi State, don't think they have the Jimmy and Joes to compete. 17 or 16 is the spread I'm seeing. That's a lot. And I think LSU will have some kinks just because it's been tough with COVID and they're replacing so much. I mean, think about it. New defensive coordinator, 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, whole new front seven, new quarterback, new receiving core, new tight ends. I mean, there's bound to be some hiccups. I mean, some of these guys, it's Miles Brennan's first start. It's his first time being under the lights on the first play. I mean, it's different. So there's bound to be some sort of jitters. Mississippi State does have a new head coach, but I think ultimately, I think LSU will overcome them. The talent gap is just astronomical. I mean, Ogeron's recruiting at levels that truly LSU's always recruited good since 2000 or so, since Saban got here. But Ogeron's really brought it to a new level, particularly nationally, and he's doing a great job evaluating talent. So really good stuff there. I think LSU wins 34-21. I do think that the 17-point spread is a bit much considering one little issue happens, and I mean they're breaking in a new deep snapper. Quentin Skinner takes over from the Ferguson dynasty. We had 8 years of Blake and Reed Ferguson snapping, and now we got Quentin Skinner, although he's from the same high school, Buford High School. But I mean, New Longs, what if he messes up one snap? Boom, 7-point swing. So I think something like that happens and causes LSU, even though I think 17 points, they're about 17 points better. I see so much going in and out. I think they'll mess something up. Let's see here. Esteban, hot take. Dwight McGlothern will be a dark horse on defense. This kid gets a chance. Kid is going to run with it and not look back. Coaches are high on him. I hope you're right. He says he likes my shirt. Appreciate it. I wanted to look official this year. I hope y'all also like the new layout. We have advertisers. I got followers put up there at the top. Do y'all like the new layout? Let me know. We're putting some work into making this a high quality show. Want to keep y'all around. You taking basketball questions, Darren? Darren! We don't talk basketball on football eve. Come on. No, I mean, just shoot me a basketball question. I don't know. I mean, I don't cover basketball, y'all. I want to be very clear that I am a football beat writer, but I like basketball. I mean, I watch the games and stuff. Let's see. All right. How are TJ Finley and Max Johnson progressing? Very good question, Chris. Coaches, by all reports, are satisfied with their progress. Word on the street is that Max Johnson will be the backup quarterback over TJ Finley. Max Johnson, his junior to senior year in high school, just went night and day. He got so much better. He is a very polished lefty quarterback. Great footwork. He's got NFL pedigree with Brad Johnson as his uncle. And, great footwork, very polished. TJ Finley oozes talent. Ooh, he is a specimen. He is a big kid with a jumbo arm, and he kind of flicks it around like Jamarcus Russell. If y'all want a familiar comparison, obviously every athlete is their own athlete, but kind of a dynamic that might make sense to you, it's kind of like Matt Flynn and Jamarcus Russell. Both came in very highly recruited. One of them is big, giant kid, giant arm, but his technique is sloppy. It needs some work, but you can coach that. You can't coach a dude being able to throw the ball, 60 yards on one knee. But Max Johnson's more polished. I think for now, Max Johnson's the guy, but y'all, it's awesome, that they're developing a backup quarterback, but I hate to tell you, Miles Brennan is LSU's only hope at competing for a championship. If Miles Brennan goes down, who knows what happens to this season? True freshmen aren't built for the SEC. Everybody looks like, oh, what about Johnny Manziel? Well, Johnny Manziel was a redshirt freshman. He had a whole year. That's exponentially more experience, especially during a COVID year where practices were limited and whatnot. I got a few more questions in. Before I go into those and talk more about Mississippi State LSU, I want to thank Jordan Spector, who has sponsored tonight's shows and really created my favorite man cave piece just behind me. I'm going to run his video one more time, just showing you some more details, because I understand it might be hard to see all the little details on there, but it is super cool, I promise you. All proceeds to this, not all of them, but proceeds to this go to Dreams Come True Louisiana and the Joe Burrow Fund. Joe Burrow Fund, of course, supporting Ohio food pantries, and Louisiana Drums Come True supporting Louisiana charities. So here is the video. Alrighty, so thank you, Jordan, for sponsoring tonight's show. By the way, Mike's back in the comments. He apparently had a phone call that was more important than me. Well, it is what it is. Thanks, Mike. Let's see here. Dale Broussard. Corey Foreman back in town this weekend. That's right, Dale. Dude, literally in recruiting, that's the most exciting news you could have. Let's see here. What is your gut feeling that we see Arch Manning playing here for LSU? Well, it's been very quiet for Arch on the recruiting front. I've gotten to talk with his dad quite a bit. They're very nice, and LSU's got a bigger chance than a lot of people like. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, he's all Ole Miss. He's all Ole Miss. But y'all forget Ogeron was the coach at Ole Miss back in the Gap. And Cooper, Eli, Arch, all of them got to know him during that time, and they like him. That's one of the spectacular things about Coach O is he recruits people before they're recruits. Really. I mean, I can tell you I met him personally when I was an SID intern at LSU. I mean, when you're an SID intern, you are a nobody. I mean, you are just there to set the mic up. But Ogeron came over, talked to me, asked me my name, asked me where I'm from, just like he had never met a stranger. Guess what? Thought Ogeron was a pretty cool guy. You know, who knows? Maybe 15 years from now, I have a son and Ogeron impressed me, whatever. You know, like Ogeron plants these seeds decades in advance, making impressions. So LSU has a very real chance. Now, there's a logjam in quarterbacks in Louisiana, which is awesome because most of the time there are like no quarterbacks in Louisiana. It's been a dry spot, but now there's Walker Howard, who is we are expecting big things out of Walker Howard, sophomore at STM. He's going to be very good. Same class as Arch is Eli Holstein at Zachary, and he's supposedly going to be pretty good. LSU has offered Arch and Eli Holstein. We shall see. I do think it's going to be tough because Walker Howard's committed. That's son of Jamie Howard, and I think it will be tough to get Jamie and Arch because they're both going to be top 100 players. Highly coveted quarterbacks, not much class separation. And then the year before Walker Howard, Garrett Nussmeier is committed and coming in. And we already see LSU brought in 2 coveted quarterbacks last year. So, I mean, a million things could happen. We're literally predicting years in the future. But LSU has a real chance with Arch Manning. I think Arch is going to be really good. Mike thinks Walker Howard is the best quarterback in the state coming up. I saw Arch Manning live as a freshman, and while he wasn't the best last year because he's very little, he's added 4 or 5 inches, I'm expecting Arch Manning will be the best of the group, but we'll see. The answer is yeah, he has definitely a chance. And look, Mike even commented, LSU has a strong chance at signing Arch. Don't believe anything different. And yeah, that's why Mike's the best, y'all. I can tell you, I've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. I've talked to Cooper on multiple occasions, and LSU 100% has a chance. Now, the recruiting process is dull for them right now, so we don't have too many updates, and according to Cooper, they're not too focused, but LSU's living strong. I would say the only reason I hate to word it like this. I would say the only reason LSU wouldn't be the favorite to land Arch is because of the logjam in Louisiana quarterbacks. They want all these other kids too. Let's see here. Esteban wants to know what's going on, Mike. Let's see here. You're right. PG, LSU is good hands for the future at quarterback position. I agree, and it's very good, and I think Ogeron has proved that he is willing to let the offense succeed. Got a few more questions here. I want to thank Dexter Alexander, Dexter Von Realtor, for sponsoring tonight's show. Guys, Dexter played for LSU. He's on that 2011 team, which before last year was the best team in school history. Dexter has confirmed with me, if you buy with Dexter, he's guaranteed at least one good football conversation, at least one Les Miles story, and if you close on the house, he'll let you wear his ring. The ring that Les Miles put number 2 nationally on and upset a lot of senior football players. But that's okay, because Dexter... it's not his first time getting a number 2 ring. Yeah, me and Dexter played together in high school, and we have a state runner-up ring. So he's got 2 of those. It is the bane of his existence. But really cool to talk to one of the guys who played on one of the best teams in school history nonetheless. But more importantly, Dexter cares about his clients. He's going to take time, look into your needs. He's going to use that attention to detail. He used to be, after playing for LSU, he became a head football coach here in Baton Rouge for TCA. And now he's moved into real estate. And he's brought that attention to detail that you need to find your house. He's going to be thinking of things you're not, looking for things that you don't know to look for. He's going to be very attentive to your needs. Give him a call, whether you're looking to buy or sell. Dexter's going to get you taken care of. He's a real good guy. I sign off on him. I endorse him all the way. Y'all go give him a call. Really great guy. Let's see, what comments do we have? Ricky Collins at Woodlawn, 2023 GOAT. Be on the lookout. Hey, there's Dexter commenting right there. Y'all, Mike has gone to go see Ricky Collins at Woodlawn. That kid is no joke. He is an athlete. Look, Eli Holstein is a guy who already holds LSU offers. A lot of people are saying Ricky is better. I might believe it, and he's coached by Marcus Randall, former LSU quarterback and national champion at LSU, who is a smart coach, very smart coach. I 100% believe Ricky Collins is a guy to watch out for. Make sure to add him to your list. Like I said, y'all, exciting years for LSU coming up in recruiting. I'm not really exaggerating. LSU's got the number one player in the country visiting this weekend. They've had back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes where they were 1 or 2 guys away from being the number 1 class. Just awesome news. LSU quarterbacks, we're going to have big names coming through LSU like really we've never seen before. So y'all make sure to get it. Oh, and Esteban's talking about Jaheim Otis. Mike went and filmed in Mississippi Jaheim Otis, and that kid is a beast, y'all. Definitely. Ooh, boy, it'd be a good one. He's kind of like Tyler Shelvin, just this massive man of a human being. Dexter with a thank you in the comments. Of course, Dex, appreciate you, man. Best teammate I ever had, by the way. I know that won't sell any houses for him, but hardworking, the best leader I ever had in the locker room, period. 1 week they had Dexter line up next to me. They had to have him play scout team defensive tackle. Y'all, he played corner at LSU, but we needed fast defensive tackles, and me and Dex just tore it up at defensive tackle next to each other on that scout team. Full work into it. Full endorsement to Dex, y'all. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Otis, y'all, 6'6", 350. Oh, Loch Ness Monster coming for him. Bruh, big dude. Y'all, I thought this was an outstanding show. If you're still watching, I want your feedback. Am I right about 8-2? Am I right? LSU wins Mississippi State 34-21. And tell me what you think about the new layout, new sponsors, all this good stuff. We put a lot of work into it this offseason to kind of make a high-quality production for y'all since the show was so popular. If y'all enjoyed the upgrades, let us know. I appreciate it. If not, also let me know, and I won't do all this stuff anymore. So I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you to our sponsors, Dexter Vaughn Realtor, and thank you to Jordan Spector. I think it was really cool that we got 2 fun sponsors. Got the Burrow painting, got a former LSU Tiger. Y'all go give them a follow. Y'all go get you one of these Burrow paintings because it's really cool. Literally everybody comes into my man cave. It's the first thing they say. Thank y'all. Have a great night.